What's up, everybody? We're back here with the second game of a set in the Pandemic Legion StarCraft 2 tournament. Between the bottom right-hand corner, the green Terran Porkins, which I'll be referring to as Tycoonigan for the rest of this match, and the top left-hand corner, the pink Protoss Falcun. Falcun, the loser of the first match in this set, is going to need to come up with some magic here if he wants to stay alive in this tournament and force the series to a best of 3. Tycoonigan, however, on the other hand, is sitting pretty. All he needs to do is play this game safe and not make any major mistakes, and he will advance to the next round. So, we'll see what both these players come out with. Falcun opting to put the pylon actually in his main this time. Probably a better choice against Terran. And we're seeing the obvious supply depot production. And we're going to take a minute here and pause to just say that I have still very new at casting. I have, however, been working on trying to adjust the terrible sounds of my mic. So hopefully the audio quality of my casting will improve for the rest of this tournament. And if not, just feel free to drop me a comment in any of the videos, or just harass me on PLIRC if you do have access there. So we see Tycoonigan putting down a barracks, a gateway in production for Falcun, and both of these guys playing it pretty standard. A little bit of an early guess for Falcun, but you know, again, bronze level / silver level player, you're going to see that kind of craziness, as build orders are, a more advanced tactic. Let's just leave it at that. Build orders don't really exist in bronze and silver level play. People just tend to make units, make building, and march them across the map and hope. So we do see both scouts passing each other. In the middle of this map, one of my personal favorite maps, by the way, Ohana. Very fun map. And we're going to see the scout from Tycoonigan roll in. See pretty much the standard level of play from Falcun, although he's very much behind on his cyber core. There it is. Kind of behind on pro production as well. And I don't think Falcun's going to get his scout in. Unless I entirely missed him already being in and getting out, but I don't think so. As the refinery goes down for Tycoonigan, the second rack, so we will probably see another 2 racks expand from Tycoon. And he does have an SCV sitting in the natural of his opponent, so he's going to know if and when Falcun tries to expand. So not really seeing him getting that second gas, so I'm not sure what's going on in the mind of Falcun. Hopefully he does start warp gate tech a little bit quicker, and there it is. And a zealot coming out as well for a little bit of defense. That's interesting. We do see a proxy pylon placed by Falcun, so we may be seeing a 4-gate from Falcun, which is not too much of a good idea against a reasonably competent Terran player. Well, whatever. Again, a tech lab coming out from Tycoonigan. That second barracks is almost finished, and we gotta believe that there it is, command center going into production right now. So we are seeing that 2 racks expand. That is very popular on the ladder right now with Terrans. And Falcun dishing out a little bit of the same medicine as Tycoonigan. He's keeping that probe in the natural just to make sure that there is no really expand. Problem is that he can't see the command center being constructed because it's going to be floated over from the main. So Tycoonigan doing the same amount of scouting, getting chased off by that zealot though, and we see 3 gates going down. Very late for a 4-gate. If this is a 4-gate, it's sloppy, considering he's maintained pro production, he got up his second gas. Maybe some sort of 3-gate pressure, but I think we're just trying to apply names to a completely, I don't want to say dysfunctional, but completely random style of play here. Anyway, back home at the Terran base, he's getting stim. Command center is almost finished production. He's grabbing a second gas rather. And making sure that his supply depot production keeps him above the supply blockage line. And we do finally see these gates, or gate rather, converting into a warp gate. Yep, and it is a 4-gate. However, it is one of the sloppiest 4-gates you might have ever seen. And a starport going down now as well. 2 starports. Word of the wise to those newer players out here who are looking to these games for tips. You have a set amount of production that you can sustain out of your your production facilities like gateways and starports and robotics bay on one base. Obviously you have a set amount of minerals coming in, so you cannot sustain production from 4 gates and 2 starports here. That's just not going to happen. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. And then the other thing is that any sort of starport opening versus Terran is not a great idea, because Marines do tend to hose Phoenixes, they tend to hose Void Rays, who are too slow to get out of the way of a mass Marine blob most of the time. And yeah, so it's a very flawed build order coming out from Falcun. And we do see mineral gathering beginning at Tycoonigan's Natural. He's building a bunker kind of far back, but whatever. I think what he's trying to do is get coverage between both ramps. 3rd rack's down, a factory going down, and he's getting +1 weps and combat shield. So I think what we are going to see this time around is a medevac timing push from the Terran. And back in Protoss land, we have 4 Stalkers, 2 Zealots, and I gotta believe a Nexus going down soon. But once again, that expand is very late, and we have 2 Void Rays coming out from Falcun. And as you can see, what I was talking about earlier, the gates are producing Void Rays, but he does not have enough minerals really to do anything else. No additional units being warped in, and definitely not warped in down there because there's no pylon. That's kind of silly. As he puts down a forge to try and get upgrades, but yeah, he does not have the mineral production to maintain this. He really needed to expand a while ago. And here we go, we have Marauders and Marines pushing out. Perhaps going for a poke without even those medevacs. I may have erred on that. As we do see no starport in production, just a 4th barracks. So yeah, it looks like we are going to see a little bit of early-ish aggression. Well, not really, it's almost the 10-minute mark. But 4 Marauders, a few Marines, and an SCV are going to poke up and see what they can see. And get hosed a little bit. Man, that would have been a great timing to force field those units in with those sentries. But not really on the ball is Falcun. Those Void Rays are doing a little bit of damage, but Falcun is now, or I'm sorry, Tycoonigan is now going to be aware of them, and he's going to be going either Marine heavy or getting Vikings. And we do see a starport going down as well, so yeah, those Void Rays are not going to do much. Especially considering on the offense for Falcun, Tycoonigan has already got missile turrets up. Not really protecting his mineral line yet there, but definitely protecting his mineral line ish at the natural. And as you can see, there's no real production going on whatsoever from Falcun. Getting a Twilight Council now. No additional Void Rays in production. +1 on the way, but Tycoonigan also has +1 armor on the way. He's got concussive shells. And yeah, just overall ahead. Let's take a look at the economy tab. And yeah, once again, Falcun is far behind with 29 workers to Tycoonigan's 39. And so we'll take a look at the back to the production tab, and we'll see the army of the Terran starting to take shape. The reactor swap has been done with the factory, and we are seeing medevacs coming out, so we've got to believe that we will see a late-ish medevac timing push from the Terran momentarily. And the factory is going to zip across the map and do some scouting, which is incredibly annoying if you've ever been a Terran or a Zerg even. I'm sorry, not a Terran. A Protoss or a Zerg even, and you have a factory sitting on the far corner of your base just keeping vision, and you can't for the life of you take it down. Or rather don't want to divert the resources to do so. A Robo coming out finally for Falcun, but he's way behind the supply count now. A few Zealots coming. Zealot legs coming. And a 3rd going down for Tycoonigan, and he does scout that proxy pylon, I believe. Maybe not, actually. Does not look like he scouted that, but here come the medevacs. Oh, my pylon is too far back to see the command center as well, so Not really, not really much going on at this point. However, the Terran is indeed rolling out, getting ready for that push. And he's going to send the factory up to get vision. That factory is going to go down to Void Rays pretty quickly. And in a more skilled match, that would probably be a bad idea because the Void Rays would be fully charged before the infantry arrives. But it does draw the Void Rays back. So we're going to have an engagement here, and I have to think it's not going to go favorably for Falcun, but the Zealots charge down the ramp, and they die very quickly. Yep, a large Marine blob up the ramp, killing one Void Ray, then the next, then the next. A fourth and fifth are in, but they're going to get hosed almost immediately. And the Nexus will go down. And Falcun is going to leave the game. So Tycoonigan taking the second game of the series and advancing to the next round of the Pandemic Legion tournament. So well done by Tycoonigan, double play. And Falcun, though that's probably going to be disheartening, is going to have to go back to the drawing board and see what he can come up with the next time we have this tournament. But, you know, props to him. He's a bronze, silver level player and playing a high gold platinum player, so it's neither here nor there. And we will see you in the next round of this series. Stay tuned.